What the fuck is up, you guys? I have missed y'all. It's been a minute since we had a little Steph talks, but with kids out of school, my daughter was with me all the time, self-employed entrepreneur. It's a bit much, doing your day-to-day stuff and then having your kid tag along the whole time. I love it. I love having my mini with me, but it just means a little bit less time for shit like this. But I have time now. So today's video is going to be nutrition tips for beginners. It can be overwhelming to a lot of people at times, especially when you're just starting your fitness journey. And it can get it can get so overwhelming that it discourages you, or it can cause you to fall off the plan and completely stop. So my goal for this video is to help you see the obstacles that might arise and kind of figure out a plan on how to push past that, like identifying the obstacles and working through them. So again, it can be overwhelming to some people. My notes are down here, so that's why I'm gonna keep looking, because if I don't have notes, then I'm just gonna be all over the fucking place. So one thing I want to tell you is chase progress over perfection. No one's perfect. Even people that have been doing this for a long time, like bodybuilders, athletes, we're not always perfect. So, there are going to be days and times where you might fail, where you might fall behind or anything, but just keep going. Everybody fails. Just because you failed one time or you had a fucking cookie or something doesn't mean that's the end of your journey or that you're a failure. You might have taken a step back, but that doesn't mean that's the end. So just keep striving for that progress over perfection, and don't get caught up in like the minor details. For example, like if you have a meal plan and it calls for white potatoes and you just have red potatoes, you will not die. Like, don't get all hangry and like fight with your family or like fight with yourself and feel like a failure because you're making a small little switch at that time. Or like, say you need asparagus but you only have green beans and like it's 10 o'clock at night. Don't drive yourself crazy and drive to HEB. Like, eat the fucking green beans. It's okay. Like, you're not gonna die. It's okay. Unless you're allergic to them. But anyways, so that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get so caught up in the all in or all out mentality. Keep going. Just keep making improvements as the time goes on. So yeah, progress over perfection. The next thing that I want to talk about is planning. If you want to be successful, you're going to need to plan. Plan out your meals for the week, for the next 2 days, for the next 3 days, whatever is going to work for you. I know in the beginning of my fitness journey, I thought I needed to meal prep for like 7 days out. And now that I think about it, like, it was pretty gross eating that food. But now I prep for maybe 2 or 3 days out and then just keep going like that. And I cook in bulk. So that's part of my plan. I cook in bulk. I make sure that, maybe usually it's like Wednesdays or Sundays we're cooking in bulk. But plan your shit out. That's what's going to help you be successful in the long run. If you do not have a meal plan, you can still plan tracking macros. Just because you're macro tracking doesn't mean that you can just do whatever the fuck you want all the time. Because if you start your macro tracking like that, you're definitely gonna fall into a hole where you're like, I don't know what to eat. Oh my god, all I'm eating is carbs, and blah, blah, blah. It's gonna get all crazy. So definitely, even though you're macro tracking, you want to create a plan. So what I suggest to my clients is, if you already, like, you can still meal prep if you're macro tracking. You can cook in bulk. You can cook like a whole bunch of chicken, a whole bunch of beef, and just mix and match as you go. That way it's gonna be a lot easier for you, and there's not a lot of chance for you to just like freak out and go to McDonald's or something. Your food is already there. So what you can do if you're macro tracking, you can still meal prep. You can still meal prep like 2 or 3 chicken meals, 2 or 3 beef meals for one day and the next day or whatever. So just because you're macro tracking doesn't mean just because you're macro tracking doesn't mean you don't need to meal prep. Meal prep is definitely a key to success in this journey. So even if you just meal prep for the day before or 2 days out, it's going to help you be successful. Another tip that I give my clients is, if you are macro tracking, you know, at the end of the night, this is something that I do myself. Plan your meals out for the next day. If you already know what you're going to have for breakfast, because I mean, not everybody does fucking extravagant meals every single day, like different breakfasts every single day. You usually have the same 1 or 2 items, and you can swap that out. So what you can do is input your breakfast. If you did the tips that I said before and you meal prepped and you have meal in bulk, you can put in, okay, I will have chicken and rice for lunch, and just plug that in and plug what you think you're gonna have in for your day. You don't have to completely zero out your macros when you're planning the night before, but you know, putting your breakfast, lunch, and dinner will definitely help you structure your day better. And that way, if you have any macros left to fill or whatever, you can get snacks that's going to be tailored to that. So say if you have a lot of protein and carbs left, you know, you can get your snacks for the day can be like fruits and protein shake. If you have a lot of fats left, maybe your snack for that day is, you know, like a piece of whole wheat toast with almond butter or a piece of avocado toast. You can plan as much of your day and then kind of fit random shit in there, you know. So planning and meal prepping, cooking in bulk is definitely going to help you. You don't get so caught up in that perfectionism where you feel like you're gonna meal prep and you need to make all your fucking meals, like 20 meals, and put them in the fridge. You don't have to do that if that's gonna drive you crazy. If you're gonna adhere better to your protocol with just cooking in bulk and, you know, weighing shit out when you're gonna heat it up, then do it that way. But if you're somebody with a more structured schedule and like a normal 9 to 5 job or whatever it is, or that you have to go into work, you know, then meal prep those like your lunch or something. You don't have to meal prep your dinner because you can serve that for yourself. You know, just trying to work smarter and not harder. That's going to be the next tip. Working smarter, not harder. So nowadays there's so many things to help you with your nutrition. So don't think that you need to be in the kitchen slaving for hours like the way people used to get all your shit done, or for meal prepping. Smarter, not harder. Me, I have an Instapot, I have a rice cooker, I have an air fryer, I have all the gadgets. So literally what I need to do to meal prep is I get my rice cooker, put my rice in there, rice, water, start. Boom, that's cooking. Move on to my Instant Pot, cut up my chicken, season it, throw it in there, start. Boom, that's cooking. Then I move over to my beef or my red meat, and usually I'll cook that on the stove. That's literally the only thing on the stove that I'll cook, is beef. I'll make that while everything's cooking, and it's literally like you're making one dish. Oh, and then the air fryer. You can make your potatoes in the air fryer. That's what me and Eddie do. We'll cut them up or whatever and throw them in the air fryer, or you can bake them in the oven. It's about working smarter, not harder. So you do not need to be at the stove with a pan cooking all your chicken one by one, taking 2 or 3 hours. Smarter, not harder. I'm saying it over and over again to get it into your head. Smarter, not harder. And you can even cook frozen chicken in the Instant Pot. So if you forget to defrost it, you know, just use the tools that you have that are going to help you, that are out there available. So if you don't have an Instant Pot or you don't have a rice cooker or whatever, that's definitely something that I would say you can invest in. There's not all of them are super expensive. If you look on Amazon or Walmart or H-E-B, there are very affordable items like that. So if you don't have any of those items, I highly suggest you do, because in the long run it might be like a pricey thing, and I honestly, there's some pretty decent price ones out there. It's going to be a cost that's going to benefit you in the long run. It's going to save you so much time. Again, working in the smarter not harder thing, for example, Eddie was needing to cut potatoes every night for his meal plan, and it was taking about 20 to 30 minutes every night, and we get home late from the gym. So we needed to save time. So I went on Amazon and I looked for a potato cutter. You know, if he doesn't need to be cutting them super perfect and taking forever, 30 minutes to cut the potato, and then he needs to put them in there and wait longer to cook. All we need to do is, we got one of those fucking potato fry things, whatever. There's a whole bunch of different types of gadgets and cutters on Amazon. So I literally just searched potato cutter, and you put the fucking potato there and you just go, and then you have a bunch of fries. And that saved us literally like 25 minutes. So work smarter, not harder. If you need ideas and tips for gadgets like in the kitchen, feel free to message me. I am all for giving help. And just like looking it up, and or if you have a coach already, you know, talking to your coach and getting ideas, because your coach has probably already been doing this for a long time, probably already knows all the ins and outs and everything. So if you're getting stuck in a certain area, use your coach and talk to them and ask them, and they can give you tips. Or even reaching out to a friend that's been on their fitness journey for a long time, reaching out to them, you know, and just getting some advice. But there are definitely a lot of tools and kitchen gadgets and all that stuff to make things go a lot smoother. You don't need to be slaving in the kitchen for that long. Honestly, the only thing that takes a long time is getting the dishes done. And if you have a dishwasher, that's nothing. So smarter, not harder. The next thing that I want to talk about is switching things up. So if you're on a meal plan, or even if you're doing macros, sometimes food can just get boring. You know, some people love the repetitiveness, and I am someone that can eat the same thing for like 2 months and be cool with it. But eventually you're gonna want something else. So whether you're doing macros or on a meal plan, you can switch things up. You can change the way you cook so you don't fall off, and you can still continue adhere to protocol. To me, like, there's no excuse not to stick to your meal plan, because there's so many ways around it. You know, if you're my client, that's why you come and talk to me about it, and I'll give you ideas. So for instance, if you have chicken and rice and broccoli as one of your meals every single day, right? So you just bake your chicken or whatever, and you have rice and your broccoli, and you eat those all separate or whatever. If you're tired of that, you can change that up. You can change the seasoning to your chicken, right? You can change the way you make your chicken. When you bake chicken, and versus the Instant Pot, it's two different things. Your baked chicken will, you know, be more put together. In the Instant Pot, you can shred it more. So if you cook it in Instant Pot, you can maybe like cut up different vegetables and put it in there. Using different seasonings, maybe, you know, like a Mexican seasoning when you do the shredded chicken, or an Italian seasoning when you bake the chicken. So different things like that. Be smart about it, and don't just like say, fuck it, I don't want chicken. Just switch it up. You don't have to completely fall off your plan. You can just switch things up. Another thing is you can switch the whole dish around. With chicken, rice, and veggies, I can eat them plain, different seasonings. Sometimes I eat it with like hot sauce, like Frank's hot red sauce or something like that. So sometimes I eat my chicken with sauce. Sometimes if I'm bored, or maybe I want comfort food, I'll put it in a soup, buy a vegetable broth, chicken stock, whatever, and just literally throw all the ingredients that you already pre-made, because we are cooking in bulk, remember, pre-made, throw that in a pot, and then you have fucking soup. Yum. Okay, and then another thing is, you don't want soup? Okay, well, make it into a stir fry. You can literally get everything, because it's already cooked, remember, throw it in a fucking pan, get your low calorie sauce, whatever it is, and throw it in there. I have a stir fry sauce, and I know I've put it in my my profile before, whatever the fuck Instagram is, you know what I mean. It's been in my stories, like I use like a low sodium stir fry, or soy sauce, or coconut aminos. You could turn that dish into a stir fry. So there's just different things about switching it up. So that's an example for like a meal plan example. So if you are tracking macros, and maybe every single night you have red meat for dinner or whatever. So I was eating beef and rice and veggies over and over and over and over again, right? And then I got really fucking bored with it. So it was beef, avocado, and rice. And I was getting bored with it. So then I switching my dish into like tacos. So now instead of having a bunch of rice for my carbs, I will have a smaller amount of rice. I will have corn tortillas and my beef in there. Instead of avocado, I'll use like shredded cheese for my fats. So once you get the hang of your macros and you plug it in and you see like what your macros are, you can swipe, delete, and replace things and see what you get until like the macros will match, you know? So just switching things up, switching your meals up. Just because you're bored of plain ass food, if you're cooking plain ass food, that doesn't mean that, oh my god, I need to go eat a burger, or oh my god, I need to go like eat some fried chicken. No, like you can still train yourself to eat healthier foods that taste better. It doesn't always need to be like, oh, I need to go fucking get this or that or whatever, like Cane's or something. You know, I was really bored with my dinner, and instead of like going and buying shit, I just switched it to nightly tacos. So just switching things around for yourself will really go a long way. And that way, you know, maybe after a month or 4 weeks of me like eating tacos, I will get bored and I'll be like, okay, maybe I do want my chicken and rice better, or maybe I'll make a soup tonight or whatever. So just switching things up, but in a healthier way. When you weren't being healthy and you were having dinner every night, like you would switch things up. So why not do it in a healthier way? We want to establish healthier lifestyles, and these are tips and tricks that are going to help you establish that healthier lifestyle, and not just do like a fucking 30-day shred thing. You know, you want to get results and you want to keep them. So implementing tips like this will definitely help. Let's see, the next thing, well, we're towards the end already. So I mean, living a healthy lifestyle does not have to suck. If it sucks, it's probably because you're making it that way, or your mindset is that way. So of course it's gonna feel like it sucks. And that's why if you haven't invested in a coach, maybe now's the time for you to invest in a coach. And if you have a coach, just reaching out and actually using your coach as a tool, because that's what we're here for. And guys, don't get stuck in the perfectionism. We are not perfect. I'm not perfect. There are times where, like the example that I said, like I don't have the right vegetables that I want, or maybe I don't have the right carb sources that I want, but you make do with what you have. And if today wasn't perfect, then you like reflect and adjust, and then just make tomorrow a better day. You know, just keep striving for a better day each day and control what you can control. Don't drive yourself fucking crazy going to Target searching for vegetables at like 11 o'clock at night, because that literally was me at one point. So don't go crazy. Learn from my mistakes, and I hope that you implement these tips that I have here for you. Give yourself grace, okay? Give yourself some grace. No one's perfect. No one is perfect, and you don't have to be either. You just have to strive on getting better and better each day, and eventually these things will come like second nature to you, and you won't be needing to freak out all the time. And give yourself grace, and just make sure to plan. Time management is key here. If you really want the results, you gotta make shit happen. You have to plan out, okay, every Wednesday I'm gonna meal prep, or every Tuesday I'm gonna meal prep, or every 2 days, every 3 days, whatever is gonna work for you. Just manage your time wisely, because if you have time to be scrolling on your phone, you have time to fucking take 5 minutes to cut up chicken and throw it in the Instant Pot, and then you don't have to do shit, and it's cooking by itself. Literally, your food will cook itself now. So there is no excuses when it comes to nutrition. Don't get stuck on being perfect. Manage your time wisely. Work smarter, not harder. So, and if you have a coach, use them. Ask them for advice. Ask them for help. That's what you're paying them for. That's our job. But okay, I'm so excited to get this video out to you, and I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Drop into the DMs. I'm not sure where this video is gonna go, if it's gonna go on Instagram, YouTube, half Instagram, the rest YouTube, but wherever you're seeing this at, please like, subscribe, comment, whatever. If you liked a tip, please let me know that it was helpful. It helps me get a better understanding of what you need, and it helps me figure out, okay, I can do another video like this because they really enjoyed it, they really liked it, or it really helped them out. So if it did help you, please let me know. And I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you all, and have a good fucking day, and don't forget to lift. Bye.